boss, no stress. Sign my name, make the rules no less. Do what I wanna do, need no vote. Executive orders got the game in the choke. Breaking the law, yeah, bending that code. Power in my pen, yeah, watch it explode. 1600, know I'm running that show. Trap King, yeah, I'm making it glow. Walk in the room, go chain nice cold. Got the power, you know I'm on cold. Sign online, yeah, world's on pause. Executive order, you know I got the law. Senators mad, they can't do nothing. Pen like a Glock, you know I'm always dumping. Whole office, yeah, I'm always calling shots. Red tape going, you know I tie the knots. Trap sound boom, make the speakers go quake. Signs like the orders make the whole ground shake. Ops wanna talk, but they move too late. Got the word and the law deciding they fate. 1600, no, that's my domain. Every move clean, yeah, feeling insane. Cross that line, rewriting the game. Executive flex, put respect on my name. They talking in checks, I'm writing the decree. One signature, bring the game to its knees. Constitution, man, yeah, twist that script. Word is a wave, yeah, watch the world drift. Secret Service, yeah, they got on that throne. 1600, no, I'm bad to the bone. Rules in the way, I erase that line. Trap got stats, make the stars align. Ops wanna sue, but they're stuck in the court. Moving real fast like I'm whipping that Porsche. Beat it going wild, trying to dim my torch, but I'm too lit, got the game gon' scorch. Every order hit, yeah, Billboard vibe. Breaking all the labels, now it's time to switch sides. 1600, no, I'm setting up pace. Trap King animal, crown on my face. Call me Zeus, I'm the boss, no stress. Sign my name, make the rules no less. Do what I wanna do, need no vote. Executive orders got the game in the choke. Breaking the law, yeah, bend that code.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, watch it explode. 1600, no, I'm running that show. Trap King, yeah, I'm making it glow.
Let's go.
Took a 10, yeah, blocks go high. Gold on my wrist, yeah, dripping non-stop. Executive move, make the whole game stop. Pin in your neck, watch the pin get popped.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome.
So heavy in the baseline thumping.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Rules on my way, I'ma let it subside. 1600, no, I'm setting the tone. Trap Emperor, I'm bad to the bone.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get this show started. We don't have all morning. You know what we came to do.
Drop is a hit, no miss. Trap God flexing, got the game in a fist.
Let's go. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show.
I'm like the Terminator screaming.
I'll be back.
It's deja vu when I'm out here flying first class. It's like every week I gotta take out the trash. I'm on top of my game, ahead of the class. You can tell that I made it. Look at my grass. Cars in the garage, the tank's full of gas. I play the game so raw, I won't finish last. Sitting in my living room, screaming how we made it. This is how it's supposed to happen when you get your famous.
Good morning.
The algorithm turned to a maniac. I guess we going viral cause my Zodiac.
Let's go.
Yeah, check out all these numbers on my spreadsheet.
Benjamin Franklin is my bestie.
And if they use my ex, that mean they left me.
Good morning, ladies and
They
gentlemen.
gon' give me problems if they test me. I say it with my chest cause I mean it.
All right, here goes.
Got a lot of confidence and I'm conceited. Call me the master with a new
Here goes,
whip.
ladies and gentlemen.
I'ma take off.
Here's my favorite part.
Shit.
I'll tell you what, I haven't gone to Zeus's live in a couple
That's a
of
lie.
days. That shit was
Oh,
radical.
really?
Very radical.
It was horrible. I'm like, Zeus has gone way off.
Oh,
It's like deja vu.
have you seen The Economy?
It's like deja vu.
Seriously?
It's
They,
like
they,
deja
they say
vu.
anything, right? These folks, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, Little Hawk. Good morning. All right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, we are back in the Thunderdome. Hope you all had a great Easter weekend, but once again, we got to do the real work it takes to save this great country of ours from the evil clutches of Donald J. Trump and his legion of demons, who we all understand are hell-bent on trying to ruin the world as we speak. And who better to help make that possible than yours truly, me, Zeus. Yeah. Now, if this is your first time tuning into a broadcast like this, let me go ahead and take care of some very, very important housekeeping items. I go by the name Zeus, or some like to say Triple H. And why do they call me Triple H? Well, it's quite simple. The first H is, it's truly because I'm the most honest person on social media, hands down. There's nobody more honest than me. I'll say what needs to be said. even if that makes it a very difficult situation, because I understand sometimes you got to do that in order to have a better relationship with folks, right? So you got to be able to tell the truth. So I'm the most honest person on social media. That's the first H. The second H is truly because I'm the most humble. I skipped one almost, but humble. I'm the most humble person. Listen, we're all human beings, right? Nobody on this planet is perfect. And so with that, you always got to leave yourself a little room, in case you get it wrong and say, hey, you know what? My bad, I got it wrong, right? But so that's the second H. The second H is because I'm the most humble person on social media. And then there's the last H, which is arguably one of the most important H's of them all. And it's a badge that I wear with a lot of honor. I've earned it, really, and no one can take it away from me. It is truly because I am and will always remain, you've guessed it, the most handsome. No, it's not hilarious, no. All right. Now, many of you know exactly what we do on this show. It's been going on for several years, and it's obviously had a massive impact. What we do is we take the person running the country, Donald J. Trump, and we bring his followers into this space that we all have. It's called the Thunderdome. And what we do is we say, look, this is who your daddy is. This is your God. This is who you worship. And then we expose them as being a bunch of liars, a bunch of hypocrites. I always say this thing. What is it about MAGA? If you could describe MAGA, and all right, W alter ego. And by the way, please, ladies and gentlemen, be nice to alter ego. He's trying to find his way in the kingdom. He's not MAGA, but he sometimes sounds like it. But yeah, please be kind to him. All right. But I'm going to straighten him out too. But back to what I was saying. We show these Trump voters who their daddy is, right? And eventually either they come clean or we send them somewhere where it's hot. It's really dark and hot. Sort of like DMX's album, It's Dark in Hell, It's Hot, so to speak. But this one, there won't be any dogs barking or anything like that. It'll just be a lot of weeping and gnashing of teeth. And so, do we have any conservatives? Do we have any conservatives out there that are still supporting Donald Trump? Because I just want to give you a heads up. I'm a reasonable person, but what I don't like right now, honestly, is I don't like people who brand themselves as conservatives that are running around on social media. And I call it's the new level of grifting going on right now, okay? It's been brought to my attention that a lot of you so-called conservatives are turning your backs on Donald Trump, but you still want to get out here and blame the Democrats and say the Democrats aren't holding it down. And it's disgusting that you're doing this, all right? And I'm going to expose it in just a second, but I'll say this. If you're a person that voted for Donald Trump, you might want to leave this live right now, because it's going to get very, very uncomfortable in here. I promise you it will. But get this, you don't got to take my word for it. Listen to your leader.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here,
right, Rick?
You can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay, too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
All right. And so with that, ladies and gentlemen, the doors to the Thunderdome, they have officially closed. And I take no responsibility for how the sparks might be flying. But I got to speak on something that transpired over the weekend. There's this content creator on this app. You know who he is, Lion Lou. Did you all see this Lion Lou situation? I sat there and I watched this. This is a demon. This is a Latino for Trump type of individual, type of fella, who came onto my show and they say, Zeus, you should let it go. Why do you keep just bashing Lion Lou? I bash him because he did something to me and he still has not issued any of us a public apology. And it all goes back to CK. He blamed my show, not just him, but he literally blamed this show and any other Democrat for what happened to CK. And here we are right now, ladies and gentlemen. And we all know the Democrats had nothing to do with it. But in the middle of all of that, I found out, I heard it through the grapevine, that he had some extra time on his hands to get into a relationship. So it proves that I've been right the whole time. A lot of you brothers and sisters, Latinos for Trump, all you're doing is worshiping Donald Trump just so you can try to get with a snow bunny. Or in this case, I won't even go that far, but you get what I'm saying. You're just doing this because you can't get any girls on your own. You know, they always go, Zeus, what is a woman? No, you, even if I told you what one, you would still have a problem getting one. I won't tell you what a woman is. Never will. I will never tell you because I just love watching you suffer. And what I saw this weekend, I saw something real weak. A wounded animal. And I keep telling you, conservative women, I've been right the whole time on this show. I keep telling you, stay away from these conservative men because they're not real men. They brand themselves as alphas. They're not alphas. They're betas. Because the moment you say something about them or their daddy, they break down and they cry. Oh, she hurt my feelings. So you want to live in a sterile world where no one can tell you the truth about how uninformed, how un-American, how unpatriotic you are without you crying. I've never seen anything so weak and pathetic in my life. You cried over everything. And you still haven't issued Big Zeus an apology. And I'm going to hold you to it, Lion Lou. And so what I'll do is this. Let's go ahead and warm up the lake of fire. When they cry like they do, don't believe him. Don't believe him. He's just looking for another victim. I've seen this same game being played over and over. Just go to, what have you learned? What have you learned from all of this? And the answer is nothing, because he doesn't care. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to send Lion Lou straight to you nowhere, and anybody supporting him. Because you're not really his friends. If you were really his friend, you would say, hey, knock it off and grow up. Let's go ahead and send that demon straight to hell. And I can, thank you. I can do that. And if he has a problem, he can come talk to me. I'll straighten him out. Yeah. Thank you.
Silence.
Yeah.
You MAGA.
You go cry. You can go cry to anybody that has a shoulder for you. But you know what they say? And I shouldn't say this, but you know, there's a saying I used to say to people back in the day when I was out here in these streets. They used to say a shoulder to cry on becomes a D to ride on. That's a huge W. So you won't be crying on my shoulder because I ain't got nothing for you. Okay. All right. Now let's get back into some political things. All right. So we all know this conflict in Iran is spiraling out of control. And what we'll do is we'll kind of get we'll let the Lego videos describe what's been happening as of late, you know, because they always do a good job describing to the American people what's really going on. Because who do we trust more, ladies and gentlemen? Do we trust Donald Trump or do we trust the Legos? Let me just ask the audience, who do we trust more? Do we trust Donald Trump or do we trust the Legos? I'm going to ask the chat real quick. Who do we trust more, ladies and gentlemen? Who do we trust, Donald Trump or the Legos? Oh, there you go. Thank you. So this is the backdrop is we had the two pilots that went missing on Friday. You know, I was doing my show. I get out of the show, and then we find out two pilots are missing, and we never hear anything from the most braggadocious people on the face of the earth, Donald Trump, and his Secretary of War Crimes, Pete Kegsburg. They never said a word about it, and then boom. Oh, we found both pilots. You know, first it was one pilot, then it was two pilots, and then now we're hearing, oh, this was a secret mission the military went on to try to get some of that uranium that, and the mission totally failed, and it resulted in generals and stuff like that getting fired. And so we're going to let the Lego movie kind of give us an explanation of that. Look at him panicking. Unbelievable. success. Oh, and this is the cover-up right there. I get it. Wow. And this is the part right there. Your soldiers will give themselves for Epstein's failed cause. You think that's funny, Gregory? You think that's funny? Hey, Gregory, let me just ask you a question. Why are you still here in the United States? Why haven't you laced up your boots to go fight for your daddy's war and get our gas prices back down to where they were before he took over, right? But Gregory won't do that. Gregory still thinks this is a joke. Meanwhile, our ground beef prices, they're going through the roof. You know, they say ground beef is actually more than the price of ground beef per pound is more than the hourly minimum wage here in the United States. Look at that. Look at how the tables have turned. And MAGA thinks this is funny. They think it's funny watching our men and women in uniform lose their lives because Donald Trump is trying to hide his crimes that he committed with his best friend at one point in time, allegedly, Jeffrey Epstein. So what we'll do is this. Let's go ahead and warm up the lake of fire once again, because we know a lot of you Trump voters, I don't know. I honestly, and I'm trying to be relaxed a little bit. It's Monday. I don't want to jump right into this, but I really don't understand how there's still people out there that support Donald Trump. I really don't. But I understand what I got to do. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and send those who are still supporting Trump where they belong, straight to you-know-where. Yeah.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
All right, that's a huge W, Zeus. Now, the other thing is this. Yesterday, Donald Trump posted something on Easter, and it's literally, it's been sending MAGA through. MAGA has been having a very, very difficult time processing what Donald Trump said yesterday. He put on his social media platform, Lie Central, just threatening Iran. You better do what I say do, or I'm going to come bomb you, blue, 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 blue. But what was interesting and what was fascinating about it was it started out with Marjorie Taylor Greene. You saw this, ladies and gentlemen? You saw what Marjorie Taylor Greene wrote? She wrote, and again, ladies and gentlemen, I share this with you because when I speak to the Trump voters, they seem to think that when they come up here and they call it debating us, right? And I say what I say, you say what you say to them, and then they walk away going, I ate. This is what they think. I ate. I destroyed Zeus, right? And then months later, what Zeus said to them starts to actually manifest. Like, what I'm doing is planting the seed. Months later, the seed starts to grow and you start to see the harvest, and then they go, oh, Zeus was actually right. And they're sick, right? They're sick right now. Because just listen to what Marjorie Taylor Greene is saying after Donald Trump wrote this post. Look at this post Donald Trump wrote. Tuesday will be Power Plant Day and Bridge Day, all wrapped up in one in Iran. And I thought about that. And I'm like, he's making it sound like a day at the gym. Today is leg day. Today is chest day, upper body day. He's trying to make it seem like it's a workout, And I'm reading this and he goes, there will be nothing like it. Open the effing straight, you crazy bees, or you'll be living in hell. And I'm sitting here going, who's the only one on social media sending MAGA straight to hell? It's Big Zeus. So he's literally trying to take it from me. He's literally stealing my sauce to a degree, but he's not using it, right? And then he says, just watch, praise be to Allah, President Donald J. Trump. And I'm sitting here going, so wait a minute. What do the conservatives think about this filthy mouth individual saying praise to Allah? Because they hate that. And then Marjorie Taylor Greene gave me the game. She says, on Easter morning, this is what the president posted. Everyone in his administration that claims to be a Christian needs to fall on their knees and beg for forgiveness from God and stop worshiping the president and intervene in Trump's madness. And I'm sitting here saying to myself, Isn't this what Big Zeus has been saying? Haven't I been one of the biggest voices on social media from day one saying this man's a devil, this man's a demon? And now Marjorie Taylor Greene is coming out, agreeing with Big Zeus. I know all of you and him, and he has gone insane, and all of you are complicit. Yep. I'm not defending Iran, but let's be honest about all of this. I'm reading what Marjorie says. The strait is closed because the U.S. and Israel started the unprovoked war against Iran based on the same lies they've been telling for decades, that any moment Iran would develop nuclear weapons. You know who has nuclear weapons? Israel. They are more than capable of defending themselves without the U.S. having to fight their wars, unaliving innocent people and children, and pay for it. Trump threatening to boom power plant and bridges hurts the Iranian people, the very people Trump claimed that he was freeing. On Easter, of all days, we as Christians should be reminded that the Son of God died and rose from the grave so that we can be forgiven once for all our sins. Jesus commanded us to love one another and to forgive one another, even our enemies. Here's the point. Our president is not a Christian, and his words and actions should not be supported by Christians. Christians in the administration should be pursuing peace, urging the president to make peace, not escalating war that's hurting people. This not what we promised the American people when they overwhelmingly voted in 2024. I know I was there more than most. This is not making America great again. This is evil. So Marjorie Taylor Greene is agreeing with Big Zeus and understanding why I have to do shows like this. And you think it's entertaining. Silence, you MAGA demons. You think it's entertaining, but you're missing what I'm doing. And this is why you Trump voters are in serious trouble. Because I keep saying same thing make you laugh, will make you cry. So Marjorie starts it off, and then you get Alex Jones coming out the woodwork. Look at him. He's crying.
So my Easter message to everyone in America across the world is one of humanity coming together, one of loving God, one of thanking God for sending his only begotten Son, Jesus Christ, to redeem us and pay for our sins, and that Jesus is King and that Jesus is risen. And I saw Trump's Easter message to Iran about, open the strait, you crazy bastards, or I'm blowing up your bridges and power plants today, which they did. And then using that, F word.
Yeah.
And then talking about Allah, praise Allah, Allah's great or whatever. Number one, just from a psychological perspective, when Trump killed the mullah, which Israel told him to do, they said that would make him give up. That's the opposite of making him give up. And blowing up their bridges and power plants, it just hurts the citizens, just unified them. So just from a military perspective, it's horrible to win the hearts and minds. Our military did act like this in the past with their rhetoric. And it's super bad news. And this is not the old Trump. It's one thing if he says fuck on the campaign trail or whatever. I do that too. But on Easter, with messages about Allah Akbar and give up, you crazy effers, they're not going to. And they've closed the strait. It's killing the economy. America's sinking global rankings of likability. It's just not what we voted for.
Oh, Zeus was right. This is where a lot of you Trump voters out there, a lot of you who are disappointed in Donald Trump, you should just come clean, say Zeus was right, the Democrats were right. Because this is how when I used to get in trouble as a kid, your parents, they bring you in there, what did you do? What did you do? And one of the things that they would say to me is like, you see how the devil made you look? Look at how the devil makes you look. Right here, MAGA. This is a good example of what it's like after the devil's done using you. Look at how he makes you look. Look like a bunch of fools.
And we've never seen rhetoric out of presidents like this when we go to war, even if you're for this war. This is really bad PR, folks. This is what I'm talking about, the way Trump's behaving. Way more erratic. His speech, is not coherent all the time. You can't deny this is happening.
Oh.
So yes,
and you were crying about Joe Biden. You thought God didn't hear you crying about Joe Biden, MAGA, and think he didn't have something for you? You hypocrites, because he knew you were just using him to pull off what you really wanted to do. You were just using God's name to try to get what you wanted. We all saw it, but it's being exposed right now, you hypocrites.
the good news that he didn't fire Tulsi Gabbard and that he's looking to put Ed Martin in. That doesn't mean I back what Trump's doing. I'm trying to salvage something and before the midterms and just, hope that we can get Trump to pull out of this war. So I'm trying to get as much public awakening to this and pressure as I can, but I don't know.
I like the seatbelt on. It just popped into my head. This is how I want MAGA on their way to hell. Buckle up. Buckle up.
But MTG had a great post about it, and I posted her comment and Trump's post below this, but this is not a Christ-like Easter message. And I'm just really worried about Trump. Pray for President Trump. Because whether you voted for him, whether you didn't vote for him, whether you love him or hate him, the world's in a major crisis. And I keep seeing people comment and say, oh, show me your facts that increased oil prices and lack of fertilizer increases inflation. It's baked into all the equations. That's why the Federal Reserve are raising interest rates, which Trump's been fighting, and he should be. They're going to raise them.
Yeah.
We were on the edge of bankruptcy, folks. We needed him to succeed. That's why I backed him so much. This derails that whole thing. That's why he's behind the scenes wanting to end the war, wanting an off-ramp, trying to act strong and tough up front for everybody. It's just not working.
Oh.
So this is a clown show, folks.
Thank you.
I'm really worried. I'm really, really worried about this.
And y'all, ladies and gentlemen, so Gregory, you made a comment out there and you said, I'm an Alex Jones fan. I'm not a fan of any man, any woman, Gregory. You've been following me for a long time. I stand on my own. I got my own. I know how to think critically. I got common sense, something you should try to get. But what I am doing is exposing his hypocrisy. And you will be like this too soon, Gregory. You will be. And I said it last week. You're going to be one of these Trump supporters that come to my show. I'm going to say, now kiss my sneakers. You remember that show, The Last Dragon, right? Kiss my Converse. And you're going to have to do it. Because if it wasn't, and I'm going to say this, if it wasn't, not just mine, any other Democrats, any other real Republicans, any other real independents, if it really wasn't for us holding the line and never capitulating, never bowing to Donald Trump, he would have already made you go to war, just like Putin is doing. He would have already been able to do it, and you wouldn't have had a choice, at least with us sitting here resisting this demon. You got a choice, and you got time to figure out, do I still want to make up my mind? And you owe us a lot of gratitude. You owe us, but I know you won't. So what we'll do is this. Let's go ahead and warm up the lake of fire. And they think I'm mean. I'm not even mean. I'm literally explaining to you how things work. Let's join together and send Gregory Jones straight to you-know-where hell. Thank you, everyone. Sorry, TikTok. I had to do it.
Silence.
Yeah.
You MAGA Damon.
Now we're gonna get into some W's in the chat for Rick. Yeah. So the next demon that I gotta bring in is Candace Owens. All right, and I've been playing some of the things that she has said on this show because I value the fact that she's vocally saying things that are true. But you know what I say, a broken clock can be right twice a day. So we're going to listen to Candace Owens try to be the voice for the troops that are caught up in this war. But then there's something she did.
No American son.
There's something she said and did that I got to address, all right? And we'll get into that. All right, so let's go. This is Candace Owens speaking for the troops.
Should die for Israel.
Hold on.
No American son or daughter should die for Israel. Flat out. No American son or daughter should die for Israel. Goyim, stand down, go home, find the legal means to exit the military, because there are legal means you can exit the military. You can, in fact, conscientiously object to military service.
Remember the Democrats, the 6 senators, remember they said you do not have to obey unlawful orders? Remember that whole scandal? And now look at what Candace is saying. It's so funny. Y'all end up saying what the Democrats have been saying once reality starts to set in.
Men, in case you didn't know, swear an oath to defend the Constitution of the United States of America. I don't really see that happening right now. I don't even see Trump doing that.
Wow.
Which specific portion of the Constitution our commander-in-chief is currently doing a good job protecting?
Gregory, which one? Because has anyone seen Miss America First? I want her to answer the question too. Which one is he defending? Please, someone. Look at that. They can't even give us an answer. And this is not a question that I came up with. I'll give it to Candace. She's the one that came up with the question, and MAGA still can't answer it. Good morning, Dolphin.
What is it? What you look around at? What has he done? That you would be like, oh yeah, he is the person who is defending our Constitution. Better yet, show me which guaranteed constitutional right you believe that Trump will not violate for Israel. Can you point to one? Because I feel like right now we are all being forced into the servitude of a foreign nation. That seems to be the American reality right now. So I say, by all means, allow the Mark Levins, the Ben Shapiros to sign their offspring up instead. Allow the Christian Zionists, the ones who make videos, telling you how devilish it is if you don't support Israel. They believe this is messianic, that Bibi was sent to usher in Armageddon. That's going to bring Jesus back. I urge you, all of you Christian Zionists, sign up for the military today.
Any MAGA want to sign up for the military and be led by Secretary of War Pete Hegseth? Any of you want to be led by Pete Hegseth out there? Because you remember when Trump won, he had a mandate, and you've been seeing it. A lot of you have been seeing it on the app, because we're on TikTok. The support that MAGA had at the very beginning when Trump got in, it's literally been obliterated. Look at them. They don't even want to say anything anymore. They don't even want to identify themselves as MAGA anymore because they know. They know.
You guys, stop tweeting. Stop screaming about Tucker Carlson. You have something much more important to do. There's a messianic mission right now. Go to Iran. Go remove the thousands of dead, innocent Palestinian children from beneath the rubble in Gaza so that Trump can build his hotel. I want you guys to be the change that you wish to see in the world. You've got this.
Yeah.
Allow the goyim to stand down because you guys have the vision. You have the understanding. It's biblical.
Oh.
Go for it.
And they never will. And they never will. The other thing is, this is the part where I said, okay, Candace, me and you got to have a conversation. She's on Piers Morgan's show, and he asked her, do you regret voting for Donald Trump? And ladies and gentlemen, her answer, it sent me over the cliff. It sent me over the cliff, all right? And I'll talk about it, but watch this. And this is where a lot of the Trump voters are at right now.
Are you done with Donald Trump, or could you see a way that you would end up perhaps voting for him? Oh, he can't run again, obviously, but would you support him publicly again?
So I want to be clear. I don't regret voting for Donald Trump above Kamala. I think he was the better candidate, certainly a better candidate above Joe Biden. But what I will say is that he's been a chronic disappointment. And I feel embarrassed that I told people to go vote for him because this wasn't going to happen and it is happening. But I just think that the picture of politics in America is going to look very differently because of his actions. So I don't know where we go from here. I really.
Yeah. So I'm just going to go ahead and say this. Unfortunately, this is where the cult is at in some cases. Some folks still cannot admit the truth. And they say, well, Zeus, what is the truth? Well, first off, we're going to start here. This video has been, it's actually been trending quite well. This video's been trending quite well. We're going to start here when they say, well, what is the truth? Let's go ahead and show you. Hey, Gregory, I promise you, you can't say this to yourself.
Get any arrests.
Here you go.
You didn't get drain the swamp. You didn't get any arrests. You didn't get drain the swamp or America First. You didn't get any new infrastructure. No $5,000 Doge check. You didn't eliminate any national debt or get any help buying a new home or help with lower grocery prices or gas prices.
Wow.
I mean, it's quite the opposite, in fact.
Facts.
You didn't get a $2,000 stimulus check or affordable health care or any accountability for the Epstein files, which he promised when he said he was going to.
Uh-oh, hold on.
You didn't get a wall.
Hold on.
I mean, it's quite the opposite, in fact. You didn't get a $2,000 stimulus check or affordable health care or any accountability for the Epstein files, which he promised when he said he was going to release them all to the public. And you damn sure didn't get any no more wars. Now, what you got was conned. And you're too fucking embarrassed to admit it.
How many of you all agree with that? When it comes to MAGA, how many of you agree with that last statement? You didn't. Let me play it for him.
What you got was conned. And you're too fucking embarrassed to admit it.
Now, this guy is the Texas Trey. You can go look him up. All right, you can go look him up and see. But this is the truth, ladies and gentlemen.
Con in history. By the way, it's the greatest con.
All right, this is the truth. Let's listen to Tim Dillon, and he's going to explain it in a way MAGA should be able to understand. Let's go ahead.
It's the greatest con in history. By the way, it's the greatest con in history. I mean, truly, it's the greatest. And I don't say great in like a good way. It is truly the most successful con in history. It makes Enron look like a guy doing 3-card Monte on the street. Anything that you can remember and identify as a complete and utter scam, this is the greatest con in history. To run as an America first, and you're going to take care of America, and then turn around and go, all of these things, daycare, Medicare, Medicaid, we have nothing to do with that. We're fighting wars. That's what we're here to do. We're here to have a defense budget of $1.5 trillion, and we're here to fight wars. It is the greatest scam in history. You got to hand it to him. And I mean, truly, and not in, again, not in a moral way, but like you got to hand it to him. This is the greatest about face in political history that I have really ever seen.
Yeah. And it goes back to what I've been saying, ladies and gentlemen. It goes back to what I've been saying. Kamala Harris has been right the entire time. And when I heard Candace Owens say that, I said, you know what I'm going to do? All right, WVIP. I said, prove me wrong, Candace Owens or Viper, Gregory Jones. Prove all of us wrong that Kamala Harris wasn't right. And I promise you, you can't. You can't do it. So what I'll do is I'm going to actually help you out. I'm going to give MAGA the opportunity on this show today to prove to us where Kamala Harris was wrong. And all you got to do, I found a speech that she gave in Arizona. And what we'll do, we'll listen to some of this and then ask the Trump voters to come out here and prove to us where the lie was told. All right, fair enough. That's a decent way to doing this. So let's listen to Vice President Kamala Harris.
We will win because we know that it's very clear to all of us here, when you know what you stand for, you know what to fight for.
True.
And we love our country. And we love our country. And we know in this election, we have an opportunity to turn the page on a decade of Donald Trump trying to keep us divided and afraid of each other. We're done with that. We're exhausted with that.
Thank you. Any questions? Is that true? Kamala Harris. Just cooking.
And we know that's who he is. But Phoenix, that is not who we are. That is not who we are.
Not one lie told yet. Not one lie.
And it is time for a new generation of leadership in America.
Yeah. It's true.
And I am ready to offer that leadership as the next president of the United States.
You had your chance, MAGA. You had your chance.
In Arizona, many of you know me. I'm not afraid of tough fights.
Look at that.
For decades, I was a prosecutor. I was the top law enforcement officer of the biggest state in our country.
Facts.
And I have won fights. I won fights against the big banks that ripped off homeowners.
Facts.
Against for-profit colleges that scammed veterans and students.
Facts.
Against predators who abused women and children.
I mean, has she lied yet, ladies and gentlemen? Has she told one lie yet? I mean, and she's just speaking truth. But you all were so wicked, evil in your hearts. Yeah, I see it. The misogyny, the racism, the what do you call sedition in your hearts, and the love for Epstein in your hearts. You chose to reject it.
And we are fighting for democracy. And that's all right. That's all right. Democracy can be complicated, but we believe in democracy and the right of everyone to have their voices heard.
She was telling the truth the whole time.
All right.
The whole time.
And I have fought for many who have harmed other human beings. I have fought against the cartels that trafficked in guns, drugs, and human beings. And it is my pledge to you that if you give me the chance to fight on your behalf as president, there is nothing in the world that will stand in my way.
Facts. Look at this. Everything you wanted, MAGA, she was offering you.
And look, we all know who Donald Trump is. This is not.
Don't do it, Kamala.
Because here's the thing we all know. He is not someone who is thinking about how to make your life better. This is someone who is unstable.
Yep.
Obsessed with revenge.
Yep.
Consumed with grievance.
Yep.
And out for unchecked power.
Yep.
And in less than 90 days, it will either be him or me in the Oval Office.
Wow. Woo.
Yes, we're going to get this done.
Wow.
And I thank you. And here's the thing, because we're really clear and we can all picture it. We can picture the Oval Office.
Here it goes.
And if he is elected, on day one, Donald Trump would walk into that office with an enemies list. On day one, when I am elected, I will walk in with a to-do list.
Amen. Not one lie told. Not one lie told here.
And on top of my list is bringing down, si se puede, si.
Oh, look at that. Even spoke Spanish without asking for permission. Look at that. You could have had this going on in the United States of America right now, ladies and gentlemen. And listen, and this is why I say Candace Owens and anybody that wants to use that line. You know, that brother got into my live last week. You know, he was in his Honda Civic talking about Kamala was going to give money to Israel and I couldn't vote for her, so I voted for Trump. Where are you at now? Tell me one lie she told right now.
In that spirit is bringing down your cost of living. It's an issue that we need to address, and it will be my focus every single day as president.
Wow.
I will give a middle-class tax cut to over 100 million Americans. I will enact. I will enact the first ever federal ban on corporate price gouging on groceries.
Oh, MAGA, you can't handle that? Is that too much for you, MAGA? Getting affordable groceries, that's just too much for you, huh? Bless your heart. Bless your hearts. Kamala was just trying to help you out, and you just despised it because she was a black woman.
I will fight to make sure that hardworking Americans can actually afford a place to live.
Oh, Gregory, Miss America First. Tell me how that hurts you, Miss America First, to have a place for Americans to live, make it affordable.
And if you are caring for an elderly parent, look, I took care of my mother when she was sick. If you are taking care of an elderly parent, I understand what you are experiencing, and my plan will cover the cost of care under Medicare for the seniors in your life who need help and support.
Wow. How does that hurt you, MAGA, what Kamala is offering you? Or has she lied anywhere? Any Trump voters out there? Can you point out something Kamala Harris said that just makes you upset? Where? What did Kamala say that has gotten you so worked up? Because when Candace says she was worse than Trump, I'm trying to find where. What did Kamala say? What was she offering that made her worse than Donald Trump? Please. Where's the lie? Yeah, where's the lie?
Because so much of my plan for me is about the dignity that all people deserve, which is why my plan includes lowering the cost of childcare.
Donald Trump said, we can't even do it. Kamala was trying to get you it at an affordable price. Who has a problem with helping the children out there? Because Kamala was just so bad. Because you know they like to say, we really didn't have a choice, Zeus. Donald Trump or Kamala. I get a blank in my head like, no, you can't even make that comparison. It's two wings of the same bird. Okay, whatever you got to tell yourself to keep yourself in that dark place. But I want you to know I'm not buying it. Please point out something Kamala Harris was offering that hurt your feelings, MAGA. Please point out the lie.
Taxes for small businesses and lowering health care costs. Do we have small businesses in the house?
Yeah. Please tell us where she went wrong. Please.
I will focus on health care because this is where I come from. I believe access to health care should be a right and not just a privilege of those who can afford it.
Wow.
On the other hand, Donald Trump's answer to the, hey guys, you know what? Here's the thing. Let's talk for a moment about Gaza. We all want this war to end and get the hostages out. And I will work on it full time when I am elected president, as I've been.
So she wanted the war to stop and said she would work on it full time. Tell me how that hurt your feelings, MAGA. Please tell me how Kamala Harris, who was right the entire time, was hurting your feelings by literally trying to get you what you claimed that you wanted. This is what you were saying Donald Trump was going to give you. He lied about it. And she was offering it, and you chose to go along with the liar, the one that was the criminal, because you know what their claim to fame was? I could separate the person from the policy. No, you cannot. How are you going to trust somebody to carry out the things they're promising you if they don't have morals and integrity? See, I get angry. And you Trump supporters, you've done this to yourself because if you think about it, we literally could be on the verge of being one of the greatest countries on the planet. But right now, we are literally one of the worst countries. And it's all because of you silly folks who went out there and, you know what I say? You just nuked yourself when you voted for Donald Trump.
And I have yours. So there's a contrast in this election on so many issues, including our plans for America's economy. Donald Trump's answer to the financial pressures you face is the same as the last time. Another $1 trillion in tax cuts for billionaires and the biggest corporations, and this time he will pay for it.
Wow.
And this time, his plan is a 20% national sales tax on everything you buy that is imported.
Oh, the tariffs. Wow. The tariffs. Kamala was telling us Donald Trump was going to do it to us. And y'all proudly went and voted for this. And the Supreme Court had to come back and say it was unconstitutional. So when people like Candace Owens say Kamala was a bad option, I'm trying to find out where. Where has Kamala Harris lied so far? What has she made up and what has she said she was going to do that would have made your life so miserable? I can't see it. I really can't see it.
Clothes, food, toys, cell phones.
Yeah.
A Trump sales tax, according to The Economist, would cost the average American family an additional $4,000 a year.
Jesus Christ.
And on top of that, Donald Trump still wants to get rid of the Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare.
Wow.
And he has a powerful friend in Congress, the Speaker of the House, who recently said, if Trump wins, there will be, quote, no Obamacare.
Wow.
Which would throw, understand the meaning of that.
Here it goes.
It would throw millions of Americans off of their health insurance and take us back to the time which we remember when insurance companies could deny people with pre-existing conditions. Well, we are not going back.
There you go.
We are not going back.
There you go. All right.
We're not going back.
Yeah.
We are not going back.
There you go. Look at it, ladies and gentlemen. That's Kamala Harris. So when I say, and you could go watch the whole rally, I literally believe she literally just moonwalked and explained to Americans all over the country how dangerous Donald Trump would be. And yet we can't get any of you Trump voters to actually put some meat on the bone and honestly explain to all of us, what did Kamala Harris lie about? What did she say that was going to make America worse off than what it is? And they have no answers. And I know why you don't have any answers, because you are a bunch of hypocrites and a bunch of liars. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in warming up the lake of fire. This is for all of you. Look at what you've done. Yeah, we could have had a country where we were actually being taken care of, all right? But instead we got the exact opposite. We have a country where we're just getting robbed every single day, especially when you go put gas in your car. And it's because of you Trump voters. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in sending them straight to hell. Yeah.
Silence, you MAGA Damon.
W, Rick. W, Rick. All right, now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to pivot and go to the next part of the show. All right, yeah, W is a huge, and we're going to ask and see if there's any Trump voters out there that have the courage to get up here and actually apologize for what they've done. We don't got much time this morning, ladies and gentlemen. Where are the Trump voters at? Go ahead, come on up here and tell us either that you're sorry or tell us where Kamala Harris may have lied to you, because I'm genuinely concerned. W, Rick. W, Ange. How you doing, Ange? They're on Grindr. Yeah. You see this? Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. The Trump voters, they're radio silent. You think he said I voted for a mask? Okay, let's see. Come on up here. What does he call himself? CD. We know what CD is, right? He said he wanted to talk to me. I didn't think so. Go ahead, Trump voters. Don't be afraid. This is your one chance to be heard this morning. Yeah. Look at them. They're totally devastated. They're totally scared. They know what's coming. Yeah, midterms. Hold on. Who do we have here? Yeah, where's MAGA at this morning? Somebody wrote cross-dresser. Yeah. They're not coming? I wonder why. Yeah. I mean, I make myself available Monday through Friday, right? Don't I do it Monday through Friday? Come on up here, ask the questions that you feel need to be asked, MAGA. Why are you hiding? You know, you've done so much harm to this country. You should be proud of yourselves, right? Your daddy's in the White House. He's delivering on all of his so-called campaign promises. You're owning the libs. Why so scared? Why so scared? Uh-oh. I was trying to send a guest. Yeah, there you go. Orlando. Okay, you said you wanted to come up here and say something. Good morning.
Yes, yeah. No, I'm not. You know me. I'm not a Trump supporter.
I know you're not. I know you're not. How are you and the wife doing?
We are absolutely fantastic.
Good.
We're doing some spring cleaning and waiting for the midterms.
Okay, good. I love to hear that. Well, what do you got for us this morning? It's a light day.
Okay.
It's a light day at the office. As you can see, they're struggling.
Yes, but after that, the what do you call it, Truth Social? After that thing,
Yeah.
I honestly have no words.
Oh, Kenneth, send a guest request. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, Orlando.
Now, real quick. No, I'm sorry. Real quick.
Mm-hmm.
After everything you just played with Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
Kamala Harris.
Kamala, you got to get it right. Yeah.
I know. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
After everything you just played.
Yeah.
I'm willing to bet with 100% certainty that Alex, Freddie, and Renee Good would still be here.
Oh yeah. If Kamala were to
Now,
that would have never happened.
Exactly. Think about all of the things that have gone wrong
Mm-hmm.
for all of these people, all of the the Spanish and
Charlie Kirk too, right? Yeah.
All of that. So yes, even Charlie Kirk would still be here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's all I want to say. And the last thing I want to say, everybody listening to the sound of my voice right now.
Yes.
Midterms.
Thank you, Orlando, brother. All right, we're gonna bring up a crowd favorite, most hated person. But let's listen to what this demon has to say, and then we'll finish this up. All right, because we only got a short amount of time. W's in the chat for my.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
And tell the wife I said hello. Okay. All right. You all be nice to Kenneth. He said that he's changed his ways. Perhaps I'm hoping. Thank you, Orlando. Yeah, Kenneth, you're the bravest of the brave this morning. What's going on?
No, I just want to celebrate. We rescued the pilot who was doing that noble job in Iran, and we need to celebrate that and celebrate the ending of this conflict. And we're going to claim victory, mission accomplished, whatever you want to label it as. We're going to celebrate this. So I would like to keep that on the mind of you and your listeners first and foremost.
All right. So you got any evidence? Because I heard that mission that Trump told you about. Like, what is your understanding of what happened?
Well, I know that Netanyahu, the IDF, and the Mossad, they were there in position, and they said we could take out the regime. And Trump said, "Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's do it." So it was an Israeli-led mission, but we fully supported them.
What were they really there doing, though?
What, regime change?
Oh, is that what you heard?
That's what Rubio heard. That's what I heard from the IDF, the Mossad, Netanyahu, Trump. Regime change.
Yeah, I would,
and that's what we accomplished.
So I would encourage you to go look into that, Kenneth, because
why would I? If I already know it, why would I look into it? You see what I'm saying? If I already know this stuff, why would I have to look into it again?
So let me just ask you this, because I just played some stuff Kamala Harris said. Did you voted for Trump? I don't know.
I'm a big I'm 53 from Ohio, and I'm one of the founding members of BLAGA. I've been down with Trump since 2015.
And what was it that you made you vote for him? Because what I'm seeing is a lot of people are not supporting him anymore because of this so-called war, right? He claimed he was supposed to be going over there helping the Iranian people, right? But he's destroying infrastructure that's actually going to harm the Iranian people. And then the particular situation you're talking about, what we're finding out is that Pete Hegseth and him are lying to us about what really happened. it turns out the region that this so-called pilots went missing in is the region where they believed that the Iranians were storing the uranium and that they were boots on the ground there. And then the mission actually failed and it didn't turn into a rescue mission. And they never actually accomplished what they intentionally set out to accomplish. And so I don't understand how you consider that a W when you don't accomplish the mission. And then look at where we're at right now, Kenneth. I don't know about you, but aren't you tired of spending a lot of money at the gas station?
I know if Iran controlled that region, being empowered by winning this conflict, the gas will be astronomical through the roof. Well, and we're doing a secure trade for everybody, not be dictated by Tehran.
Was the Strait open though before this war started?
Yeah, it was under the purview of Iranians and that evil regime.
Okay. So
we can't let the evils control that.
So the Strait was open, right, before this war started, and now it's closed, and the gas prices are higher. It's almost as if maybe we should have used diplomacy to try to achieve whatever. Because I don't know if you also know about this. The GCC countries, right? Japan, South Korea, they're all setting up backdoor arrangements with Iran to see what they can do to try to get those containers to get through the Strait. They're not working with the United States. And it's actually isolated the United States. Even NATO countries, they're working with backdoor channels with Iran. So how is this honestly, in your mind, going to play out down the road? Could you give us a couple of milestones that we should look forward to that are actually going to translate into success for the American people? And then when will it happen?
I think this has been a threefold mission, in my opinion. I know one thing: we're going to get rid of this Iranian oil and see if we can delay that so we can get that Venezuela oil that we acquired up in line and reduce the cost. So I think it's going to do that. Also, it's going to change regime. When we got rid of the Ayatollah, who was responsible for those hostages and all the unalived to America over the years, we got rid of that. They're gone.
And who do we have now? Who's he negotiating with now?
A scared son sitting somewhere in hospice.
Wrong. He said he's
breathing through a tube. Breathing through a tube.
Okay, so I asked you who's he negotiating with, and you said a scared son. That's not true. They don't know where his son is, but he's actually more of a hardliner than his father was. So
not anymore since he's running. Well, how hardline can he be if we can't find him?
Okay, so why is
he's like a scared rabbit?
Okay, so if whatever you're saying is true, why haven't we been successful yet? Why isn't the Strait opened? You see what I'm saying?
Give it more than 4 weeks, sir.
It's been more than 4 weeks.
I mean, how many? 5?
Pretty much. We're going into
that's not long. That's not long at all.
So I asked you, and the reason that I'm actually talking to you is because you're one of the bravest of your kind right now. Could you just give the American people a date when the gas prices will start to come down?
Going by the previous, because before we entered Iran, we had the lowest gas prices. They were going down, and I'm seeing them going back down again. And I know we're giving all of our friends.
When will they get back to the so-called $2 a gallon? When will that happen?
I would give it about a month, even maybe shorter than that. And I know all of our friends in NATO, all of our friends in Europe, they've been put on notice. Either you help us or we're cutting you off. So this has been really functional. We're seeing who our real friends are, and who our enemies are.
Actually, NATO, they don't want to support us because Donald Trump spent the past year attacking NATO. So they're not.
Then we won't support them.
Well, how were you supporting them? Right?
Money.
No,
money.
You weren't. You were slapping. He was
bases.
He was slapping them with tariffs. So
tariffs are economic.
Kenneth, think about this, right? And I don't know what it is, but when I talk to Trump voters, I think it's about 6 months, 6 months to a year, where they end up coming back and saying the exact same things that I told them, right? So I gave an example of like Marjorie Taylor Greene. She's pointing out that Donald Trump really isn't a Christian and that he's evil, but it's taken her at least a year from the date that I began. Actually, I've been more than a year because I've been saying it for a while. But the question that I'm really struggling with is, what are you getting out of defending Donald Trump at this level? Because I would imagine in your personal life, this is kind of dividing people from you. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you honestly getting?
It's just like America separating our real friends from our fake friends. My steadfastness with Trump is separating my friends from my fake friends. So people that want to divorce themselves from me because I stand for a philosophy in America first, be gone with them.
Okay.
Let them go. Let them go.
Okay, so let me understand this correctly. You believe that by defending Donald Trump, you're able to determine who your quote real friends are from your fake friends. So that's what this is all about.
No. People are so petty.
You need Donald Trump. Hold on. You need Donald Trump to help you identify who your real friends are.
No, he's just a lightning rod. I mean, they were always fake friends, but he's codified or made it apparent who my real friends are because they wouldn't be so petty as to say you voted for tax cuts, so therefore I'm not your friend anymore. You know, that's silly to think that because I want tariffs to protect our markets, that I'm somehow anti anything. And for them to reduce their friendship for me because of that type of silliness, let them go.
Well, have you ever thought about it? Have you ever thought about it the other way? Maybe it's the other way.
No, because I'm the educated one.
No. So have you ever thought about all the people Trump is harming? And that some of those people might be some of your quote friends. Have you ever thought about it from that perspective? Because even in what you're talking to me about, these are all things that should be able, people who are really supposedly friends, you should be able to at least iron out the differences and come to some sort of resolution. But what you're doing is you're not allowing yourself to be open-minded about what's really happening because you love Donald Trump so much. And it's very concerning. Right? So when I say, for instance, have you ever thought about the people that Donald Trump is harming? Would you agree that Donald Trump is harming people? Are you aware of that?
I don't know if you're a Star Trek fan. You kind of look Vulcan, but I know the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few.
Yeah, but that wasn't my question, right?
The few that have suffered, the people who are better off.
Are you aware that Donald Trump is harming people? Yes or no?
He's not. He's harming Iranians.
Okay, even if you want to say that, why are you okay with that?
Because sometimes our enemies need to be harmed, right? I mean, your enemies sometimes need to be touched.
So that goes
feel uncomfortable.
So that goes both ways, then, right? If someone perceives you as their enemy, then what you're saying is you need to be harmed, because I would imagine you have enemies too.
That's why we have to do preemptive strikes.
So wait a second.
We can get to them before they get to us.
So you're gonna say, and to me, this is a sad situation, because if you are okay with just randomly harming people, how do you know they deserve to be harmed? Because someone labels them their enemy? I mean, what happened to we're going to go free the people in Iran from the terrible regime? Wouldn't you agree that there are innocent people there? And
that's what we did.
In particular, the school, the little girl.
Yeah, that's what we did.
Hold on. Remember the school that he blew up? How could you say that was justified? They weren't our enemies.
No, that was a terrible situation. But I know the people wanted to rise up, and we're providing cover for those revolutionaries who want to bring Persia back to Western embrace again. I know the Burkins want to come off. They want to take off the hijabs, and the women want to get their rights, and we're helping that out. So all those people striving for freedom and get rid of this theocratic dictator. We've assisted them so they can rise to the levels that they once were, the Persian Empire, the great empire. So we're freeing them. They should be thanking us.
Yeah.
We're greeted as liberators. We should be greeted as liberators.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing, Kenneth. Here's the thing. I'm listening to you, and I'm just like, none of this stuff is actually making any sense. You know that, right? And what you've done is isolated yourself just like your daddy, Donald Trump. Unfortunately, Donald Trump, his friend was Epstein, and I would argue you and I agree hurting children is a bad thing, right? And I gave you the example of him dropping the boom boom on the school in Iran, and you still just made an excuse for it. And from what I understand, you're only making these excuses because in your mind, you're able to this helps you figure out who you can be friends with and who you shouldn't be friends with. Am I correct?
No,
because I've never ever heard you, when I spoke to you before, I've never ever heard you before come up here and try to be a champion for the people of Iran. I've never ever heard this out of you before. And I don't have friends. I have children. Yeah. I don't need friends. I just need children. Okay, but even then you don't care about children because you support a man that's actively harming children.
No, not our children. He's making our children prosperous. The other children,
he's not.
Our enemies.
No.
The children of our enemies may be harmed.
No. Because when you take away health care, you hurt the kids. When you take away food, you hurt the kids. And
I'm thinking mother would step up and take care of their kids.
And again, here's the problem. And I appreciate you trying. There's zero accountability on your part. There's zero accountability. And when we're talking, I understand why you don't have friends anymore, Kenneth. It's because you lack the ability to take accountability.
Will you be my friend?
Heck no, ladies and gentlemen.
God damn it.
Yeah, there you go. I'm going to warm up the lake of fire. There's Kenneth, ladies and gentlemen, trying his best to defend the indefensible. But honestly, it's the typical demonic answers that you're going to get when you talk to these Trump supporters. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in sending nasty Kenneth straight to hell. Wow.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
Wow. WZ's. I mean, you can't even take people like that seriously. Anybody that listened to him, this is a very unserious person. And no matter what you ask people like this, they're always going to go find an excuse to try to turn themselves into being victims. Yeah. Someone said you didn't vote. I thought he didn't vote either. But listen, what kind of person even comes up here and lies about whether or not they voted? Shame on you. Shame on you. Oh, my goodness. Moving it along. Who do we got this morning? Dada of 6. Good morning. Dada of 6. Uh-oh, I think you accidentally sent the guest request. Uh-oh. W's in the chat for Dada of 6. Thank you. 5 galaxies, 2 galaxies, 10 galaxies. Good morning, Takesha.
Good morning, Zeus. How are you?
I'm doing all right. What about you?
I'm coming along. Listen, Kenny just confirmed to us why MAGA doesn't care about the E-Files. When you said about what they did to those children and how they're harming children, and Kenny said, as long as it's not our children. That's why they don't care about the E-Files, Zeus. As long as it's not affecting their children, they don't care what happened to other children. And that's the MAGA mindset.
Yeah.
As long as it's not me, I'm okay with it.
But it eventually happens to them, right? This is the part they don't seem to.
Because you reap exactly what you sow. But Zeus,
talk to them.
When I was listening to Kamala talking, and she was breaking down everything that Trump has done, and I thought about how people were saying, well, she wasn't going to be any better than Biden. She didn't do anything, and their administration this and their administration that. And I thought that's indicative, too, saying that my dad cuts our grass a certain way, but you going to blame my mama for the way my dad cut our grass. So you ain't gonna support my mama because my dad cut our grass the same way. Just because they're partners doesn't mean you were gonna get the same person in the other partner.
Yeah.
Because all this stuff that's going on, I don't see nobody saying this JD Vance fault. They ain't blaming the war on JD Vance. They ain't blaming the food prices on JD Vance. They're not blaming the egg prices on JD Vance. They're not blaming the ground beef on JD Vance. They're not blaming anything on JD Vance. But everything that went on in that administration, they had to tag Kamala to.
Why?
Because she was black and a woman.
And they think we don't know that that's why they do it. That's the cold part.
That's exactly why they did it, Zeus.
Yeah, that's the cold.
I've never heard so much about a vice president in all my life. Half of the time, we didn't even know who the vice president was because they were missing, and we didn't even really know their name. But everybody wanted to hold Kamala accountable for what went on with that administration.
Make it make sense.
Make it make sense.
Yeah.
But let me say something about the thief. The chief thief who put their ridiculous, horrible message up while we was trying to celebrate the death, burial, and resurrection of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And you on here cussing and acting a total fool because if we being honest, you didn't even know it was Easter. They done piled you with so much medicine to make you seem normal that you chemically imbalanced now, and your brain is halfway fried.
Wow.
You didn't even know yesterday was Easter.
Wow.
I bet you any kind of money he didn't know. He'll be telling us next Saturday, Easter is tomorrow. That man's brain, Zeus, is frying and dying. And they need to be ashamed of themselves, and they need to be reported for elder abuse in administration, because that's all they doing.
Thank you.
Elder abuse, Zeus.
Thank you. W's in the chat for Takesha. You know, they said he went to Walter Reed. Did you hear this over the weekend? They actually said he had an incident and was in Walter Reed. Did you know that?
I heard that, Zeus, but I ain't gonna believe that. Just like I don't believe nothing they reported when it got to do with their pilot. I got to see him. I got to see him, Zeus. If y'all brought him home, let us see him.
Oh.
I don't believe anything out of this administration, Zeus. And that's sad when you can't believe anything from the, I don't believe if they came out with a box of Krispy Kreme on TV and said, we have donuts. I'm going to make sure it's not AI.
Wow.
I don't believe anything from this administration.
Wow. I mean, that
nothing.
That has to be the worst situation for us to be in as a country when we don't even trust the president of the United States. Isn't that something? We trust Iran more than we trust Donald Trump.
When I tell you, I'd rather them tell me the news than over here, because these people scared to report the truth, because they know if they report the truth, they station go get taken down.
Yeah.
So we ain't getting the truth from them Zeus. We getting exactly what the administration want them to say.
Yeah.
You got to read the room, Zeus.
You got to.
There is no real news going on.
Amen. Amen. W's to Takesha. I appreciate your honesty and your take, because a lot of people would hear what you're saying and they would say, well, you support Iran. You don't support the United States and you're unpatriotic. Did you know that? So I appreciate
I'm going to say it again, Zeus. The people that support Iran are Kenny, who just said we are freeing those people so they can live a better life. That's what you call supporting Iran.
Yeah.
If you are now so concerned with other countries being free and liberated, you support that country. You know, Zeus.
You got it.
Before Trump got in, they were saying leave them other countries alone.
Yeah.
Let them fight their own selves, and we just America first. And we need to worry about our own people.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden, Zeus, they got hearts for the people of other countries, Zeus. I guess when they leave Iran, they'll go on over to another country, and they're gonna go to all the countries, Zeus.
Yeah.
And then maybe they'll come back and put America first. Because right now we at the bottom of the barrel, and other countries are at the top of the pile.
Wow, no lies detected. Ain't this funny? They're gonna be in North Korea next. They'll be in China next. Talk about this is America first, but we gotta go help these other countries. I mean, these folks are seriously sick.
Zeus, I'm embarrassed at the way the people that swear America first, they play too much, Zeus. They don't care about America first. They care about Trump first, and it shows, Zeus.
Thank you.
But I'm gonna let you go, Zeus, so somebody else can come up. You have a great day.
All right, W's in the chat for Takesha. Did Takesha tell one lie? Not at all. No lies. No lies detected. Oh, I saw you. Who was that? Popcorn. You don't have nothing to say. Okay, smart choice. All right, let's move it along. Who do we got next? Dex. Dex, good morning. Dex, are you there? Dex, you're there. That's two galaxies, Dex. Knock it off. You know the rules. You know the rules. Stephen Jones, good morning.
I didn't require it pressed up. It just popped up on its own. I don't know what's up with that.
Oh, we know what's up.
My phone's sitting down, my brother.
Okay.
Come on, I ain't got no galaxy, but I hear you.
Okay. All right, there you go. That's Stephen Jones. Y'all y'all do some crazy stuff out there. Don't say that. Let's see. Who do we got next, ladies and gentlemen? Who? Yeah. Allison.
Right here in Columbus.
Allison. Allison going once. Going twice. Allison Brunner, 5. That's 2 galaxies. That's a huge. Yeah, take your phones out of your pockets, ladies and gentlemen. Please take your phones out. All righty then, moving it along. Oh, you weren't trying to come up, Dex? All right. Oh, okay. All right. Fair enough. All right. Do we got any Trump voters out there? Go ahead. Put a 1 in the chat if you're a Trump voter. Identify yourselves. Takesha came up here and she laid it down, honestly, like a carpenter. And it's just amazing that we've exposed you all. We've exposed you all. It's been a while. Leon, good morning. Yeah. Okay, give them a second. Good morning, Kabira. How are you? They're scared? Why would they be scared? Aren't they winning? Don't they have a mandate? They don't have a mandate. Antonia, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Zeus. How are you?
I'm doing all right. How about you?
Good. I just wanted to go off of what Miss Lovely Takesha said, is that MAGA wants us to go free these other countries, but we're supposed to be America first. And we have Trump, who's now asking for a $1.5 trillion defense budget, when if they were really America first,
right,
they would see that all that money would go to providing health care for Americans, education for Americans. I believe there was a report that said the amount of money we've currently spent on the war in Iran could completely fund every objective Mamdani had for New York City for decades.
Wow. And you hear that. Could you explain to me, because they can't explain it to me, why does that hurt them so much to do that? I don't get it.
Because they can't go against their daddy Trump, right?
Oh.
All we keep hearing is daddy Trump, daddy Trump. Personally, I think there's something deeply wrong with grown men calling another man daddy.
I think that too. I know it. But, to each their own. It's just amazing, right? Because, I'm wondering, are there some women out there that find that attractive? I don't know, because
No.
I've seen and I've heard things, and I'm sitting there going, why would you date a guy who's calling Donald Trump daddy? It makes absolutely no sense.
It's disturbing, to be honest.
Not at all.
I thought they were supposed to be alpha males. It's pretty beta to call another man daddy.
Yeah. Yeah, you hear that, Viper? You hear that, Gregory Jones? Not even Zaddy W, Rick. All right. Zaddy. Wow, no second date. But someone said MAGA women find it attractive. And I believe that, because over this weekend we did hear about a MAGA relationship that went terribly bad. All right. But yeah.
Yeah, I didn't watch that. I heard about it. I heard it was very entertaining. Anybody who's got the screen recordings, please DM them. I need a good laugh.
Yeah, me too. I listened to it. You didn't miss anything other than some crying. If you like watching grown men cry, then yeah, that's for you. But I just sat there and I said, who didn't see this coming, right? Who didn't see this coming? And this is why I say, when you cheer on the things that Donald Trump does, you're letting other people know, in a way, you're okay with this behavior, right? And when someone does it to you, you can't play victim. When someone does something that we've all seen Donald Trump do, I think they say, 43 women now have accused this guy of SA? You can't be upset when a guy that voted for Donald Trump does it to you. I mean, you can be upset, but you shouldn't be shocked, because it's in him.
It's sad that that's who's currently leading our government, is somebody who's had this amount of SA, and people, MAGA kept saying they were for the children, right? We got to protect women in girls' sports and bathrooms and all this. Yet we have reports of children in these concentration camps, because they're concentration camps, going in perfectly fine, but somehow being transferred to other concentration camps where they are now pregnant. There was a report of a 3-year-old who was taken by ICE. The father for months has been trying to get a hold of their 3-year-old child, and there has been evidence the child was essayed. A 3-year-old. And this is what MAGA supports. This is what's America First, is the essay of children, the essay of women.
Wow. That's so disturbing. That's so disturbing. Yeah, but when I listen to them try to justify why they voted for Trump, it all goes out the window, because when you see what Trump is doing, what he has done, you go, no, you did this because you're a sick person. Every single one of you, if you voted for Trump, you're a sick person. Maybe if you're a first time, younger voter, I give you a pass. But even then, the youngsters, they should be up on game. They have access to all this technology and stuff, right? So maybe not. But, we're at a point now, Antonia, where a lot of people that voted for Trump, they know they're wrong. They know they're wrong. They're all sick, yeah. So what we'll do, though, is we'll try to see if we can get some more of them to come up here and admit what you said is true. But why do you think they're hiding so much? Why do you think they're hiding?
I think there are a lot. I think most of MAGA we know historically through different avenues that they are lower IQ, and they tend to be in this cult mentality that it's very hard on their egos to know they fell to a ruse, right? Yeah. Trump is a grifter. It's a ruse. We're spending billions of dollars on an unneeded war.
True.
Who both of his sons have defense contracts with the Department of Defense for drones.
For the drones.
Why are his sons getting billions of dollars in defense contracts, and they were upset about Hunter Biden selling a $10,000 painting?
Where's the outrage? You know what they'll say? Oh, he's committing the crimes out in the open. He's a businessman. That's the difference between him and Biden.
And quickly to address his tweet or his lie social post, and then I'll drop and see if you can get some MAGA, is why was there a 99-1 odds that he would talk about Allah on Easter on Polymarket?
Really? So that's insider, you know what they call that? Insider information, possibly. Similar to what Pete Hegseth they're saying is going to end up being prosecuted for, right? Making major trades right before military action. Not a word from the cult about how this is corrupt. Not a word. Huh.
Nope. But we were worried about Hunter Biden's laptop and a painting he sold, but not the billions of dollars that are being stolen from us American people that could go to healthcare, education, better roads, whatever it may be for the American people. But Don Jr. and Eric Trump are getting billions in defense contracts for drones. For an unneeded war.
Make it make sense. Make it make sense. W. Antonia. Yeah.
Thank you, Zeus.
You're welcome. Thank you. Nice to hear from you, too. All right, ladies and gentlemen, there you go. All right, so let's see. Do we have any Trump voters out there? Go ahead, identify yourselves. Let's see. Do we have any Trump voters? We're here because the Republican Party, yeah. Drop. All right, you know the rules. Oh, look at that. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. We have one. Popcorn, you're back.
That I am.
How can I help you? Are you ready to apologize?
Apologize for what?
For blindly supporting Trump all the way to the point where we're at right now. I mean, you like seeing our men and women in uniform going to fight this war still?
That's what the military does, right?
Yeah, but he didn't. But why is Candace Owens? Why is Alex Jones? Why are all of his most faithful servants on the line supposedly? Why are they all of a sudden starting to turn on him?
Well, I wouldn't say they are his most staunch supporters. But yeah, I mean, the right is split. But at the end of the day, even though the right is split, it's still a better option than what we see from the Democrats. Just take a look at California, the high-speed rail. Why is it now estimated $126 billion? And which is 4 times the initial budget. And then they've laid like 200 feet of.
Is that all? It's like honestly, here we and I'm not going to sit here and act like I don't think that's an issue, right? I think, you know what, where is it at, right? Because I don't even want to fly. I really would prefer to do the high-speed rail to go to LA. But I think what you're hearing about it and what's happening has been blown totally out of proportion. Wouldn't you agree? Actually, I would ask you, if you were to put that on a priority list of like the most important things going on in America, where would the California high-speed rail fall?
Well, once you get past the temporary things, which is this WAR that we see, I would rank that type of policy or that high-speed rail as a top 5 issue, because it doesn't just apply to California. That just shows how incompetent the Democrats are when when not allowing these companies to. There's too much red tape, and it's because of the Democrats.
So if you say it's top 5, list your top 4. Watch this.
I would say Iran getting nukes. I would say that's probably number 1. Number 2 is probably immigration. Number 3 is the deals that America has, economic deals around the world, international deals. So that's 3, and then
deals. Do you mean like the trade, the tariffs, the deals he was?
Yeah, like trade deals. I think
those were illegal. Those are illegal.
Okay, cool. So yeah, and then there's. So what?
So I'm hearing you said immigration, the trade deals, the war, and what else? And because you said the high-speed rail is number 5, and I'm like, wow, he didn't even go for the whole transgender. You didn't even go for transgender for everyone. You didn't even throw that out there. What about healthcare?
To me, that goes along.
What
with
about
the
healthcare? That's not important.
Right. Again, that goes along with it. It just shows the ideology of the left is just not good, and that's why I left the Democratic Party about 20 years ago. So
okay, so here's the thing, right?
Yeah, what's the thing?
Do you live in California? The answer?
No, but some of my tax money is going to them, right?
What state are you living in?
Again, from the great state of Georgia. Hey, I never introduced myself. Would you like me to introduce myself?
No, I don't want you to introduce yourself. I'm just trying to figure out how you claim your tax money is actually going to fund California when it's not true. All right.
Well, I pay federal taxes, right?
Yeah, but that doesn't mean you actually are a state like California where we actually pay more in taxes than we actually take. You understand, California is one of the biggest states that pays the most taxes and is actually probably contributing to you. And and then you take from California, because I could easily make the argument that Silicon Valley out here is one of the most richest dynamic places on the planet that has allowed you to have access to some of the most amazing technology, like your smartphone, even, right? The internet, all these tech companies that you get and you benefit from the state of California, and you want to sit up here and talk about the high-speed rail.
Yeah, but Silicon Valley can be anywhere.
No, it can't. No, it can't. And many have tried, many have lied, and many have tried.
Not every single place.
But here's the thing, right? So here we are right now. I asked you, give me your top 5, and you actually put the high-speed rail. And I'm sitting here going, so we have gas prices that are going through the roof. We have the price of groceries going through the roof. Americans have lost a lot of their health care. And if they haven't, they're spending a lot more, right? We have our children being sent to go fight in these wars that none of us were told we needed to fight. We were told it would never happen. This global warming you could have at least brought up. And when you start talking about the leftist ideology, I'm sitting here saying to myself, well, do you think the right's ideology is a lot better, considering the fact that your daddy is protecting your daddy is protecting the Epstein class? You all say that you're pro-life, but
Yes, I do think that
So you're okay with
Republican policies are much better than the Democrats. Yes.
Name one.
I would say just the stance on trans boys and girls bathrooms, boys and girls sports.
I'm so tired of this issue.
I would say taxation. I would say.
I'm just so tired of this issue. Honestly. When hold on. How many times? Hold on. How many times have you been in the bathroom with a person that's transgender in your life?
A few.
How many?
I'd say 3 or 4.
Okay, and how many times have you used the bathroom in your life? Millions, trillions, baby. Maybe if you knew how to use it. So, in other words, what I'm trying to get you is if you put a really small number, you know how fractions work, right? You know how fractions
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so you have a really small number in the numerator, and you have this big number in the denominator. What percentage is that going to be?
Well, the people that are affected
just answer my question. Just answer my question.
I would say like 10%.
No.
15% of our population.
No, Jesus.
Yeah.
I
would say 15% of the people are affected by the less than 1%.
I said, I'm asking you. I said,
so if you have one trans in one school, that's about 500 girls that are affected.
Hold on, I'm asking you a personal question because when you get out,
you're getting cooked, bro.
No, listen. I'm asking you. I'm asking you a personal question about you because I believe you can only speak about your experience. You can only speak
my
about
experience and my daughter's experience.
No.
My daughter's experience.
I'm asking you. I said, so how many times have you actually had this situation where you actually had to use the bathroom with a person that's transgender? You said a few times. I take it to mean 3. A few means 3. Okay, great. What harm did it cause you? Are you less of a man now?
No.
Okay,
Actually,
great.
I'm not worried about myself. I don't care about myself. I can defend myself. It's my daughters.
Okay.
And it's women out there. So really, you guys don't care about women's rights.
Okay. So I could promise you, I could bring a woman up here, and
I can promise you, I care more about women's rights than you.
No, I
guarantee
hold
that.
on. I could ask women in the audience. How many women think this guy is going to protect?
I don't care about them. They're all liberal. Of course, they're going to agree with you. That's why they're here watching you.
Okay, so then you cannot make the claim.
Simps.
You cannot make that claim.
They're simps. You got your simps down there in the comments. Of course, they're gonna.
Okay, so let me make the point I was going to make at least. If you
Please at least make one point during this conversation.
If you've only had this happen to you maybe 3 out of the millions of times that you've used the bathroom, then
again,
hold
I don't
on.
care about me. I can defend myself.
Hold on. Then the percentage is 0%. You're pretty much hovering at a 0. You're literally crashing out over a 0% situation.
20% of women are affected.
Huh?
Negatively affected. I'd say 15 to 20% of women are negatively affected or have had bad experiences with trans.
And I could easily say 100% of women.
I don't care what you can easily say.
I can mute him. I could easily say 100% of women had a bad experience with you, right? So what is that?
Cool.
Yeah. So if I say 100% of the women that you've interacted with have had a bad experience with you, then where's your accountability on that, right? When do you take accountability for being a terrible person? Maybe that's the biggest issue. Have you ever thought of that?
Well, let's address the issues. What am I so terrible at?
Okay.
How am I so terrible?
Okay, great. So
let's take the number 1. So
you don't listen.
From the top. Go ahead.
Number 1, you don't listen.
Well, when you ask a question, allow me to respond.
Well, you asked me
you
asked me what is an issue you have that I could detect by talking to you, and I could easily come to the conclusion that if a woman was trying to talk to you and express things that were genuinely of concern to her, this is just my opinion.
Yeah.
You would be terrible at listening and being able to actually take accountability for your role in it, and then start taking corrective actions, right? Which to me would then to me signal that you're actually out here harming women. And I would even go one step further. You're probably more harmful to women than the people you're sitting on TikTok demonizing all day because of how they are.
Can you give me an example?
Yeah, you literally told me you protect women earlier, right? But then
no, I never. I said I care more about women's rights than you.
Okay.
I said that.
Okay. And so then I threw a scenario at you, and then you said, "Oh, but those are liberal women, right?"
No, you didn't throw a scenario at me. You asked your simp audience, the women in your simp audience, to agree with you. Of course they're going to agree with you. So nice try.
No, I didn't. Number one, you see how you see how
Is this what you do when you lose the debate?
So here's the thing, right? You said simp. You called them names, right? You insulted them, right?
Well, no, that's what they are.
So in other words, you verbally abused them.
No, I just labeled them what they are.
And so this goes back to the part where I said, well, who's really more harmful, Popcorn? And based on
Donald Trump a narcissist?
Can you stay focused real quickly? Can you just listen to what I'm saying? You literally came up here asking me to give you some insight about who you are as a person. And I'm telling your rhetoric, hold on. Your rhetoric is very violent, right? It's harmful. You don't
violent. Yeah, harmful.
You don't protect women, all right? And you don't listen. So, and I know your profile.
I do more than you.
I know your profile. Just listen up, all right? We know you're a terrible person. You don't got to keep opening up your mouth and showing us you're a terrible person. All right. So the thing is, when you're a man in this country and you fit the description, typical white male, you run around here acting like you're God and that everyone believes that what you're saying is true. And you have no sense of like really how terrible the things you say are and how harmful they are. And so I would argue, Popcorn, you are
you crashing out?
I would argue you're actually a very harmful person, but you know what? I'll go ahead and let somebody else do it because I got to be the nice guy on TikTok. Good morning, Jim.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing all right. How about you?
Oh, I'm doing okay. It's really sad when you hear a man that's so afraid of the trans community.
Mm-hmm.
So afraid. You know what's interesting about men who are afraid of a trans community is that they really know that the predator is inside themselves.
Wow, is that really what you came up here to say? Is that really the best you got?
Popcorn, show us you know how to respect women, Popcorn. That's all.
The amount of fear in your voice, Popcorn.
You got to do better than that.
Look at you. Listen to you. You can't even be quiet for 5 seconds.
You got to do better than that.
You know that what I'm about to say to the entire audience is going to annihilate you. Did he run or did you drop him?
I dropped him for a second. I need to hear what you have
Thank
to
you.
say.
So everybody needs to comprehend this, that men that have to talk about the trans community and they're so afraid of it is because they're attracted to it. They're so afraid of what they're feeling when they look at some of these trans people is that they are so latent, they're attracted. They're so afraid that there's something in themselves that relates to it and they can't help themselves. There's no actual legal standing whatsoever that the harm has been by the trans community. You know what the legal standing is in this country, Zeus?
What is that?
That 90% of all violent crimes are committed by men. 90% of all violent crimes are committed by men.
And I agree.
So I go back and I think about Phil Donahue. Do you remember the Phil Donahue show?
Yeah,
I'm a little
I do.
older than you, but
yeah,
Phil
I
Donahue,
remember it. Yeah.
And they're still on YouTube, guys. So I highly encourage you guys to Google him. And Phil Donahue was one of the first talk show hosts that would literally bring up people in drag or the trans community before they were identified as trans. And they would do these shows. And the men in the audience were just completely flabbergasted at how stunningly beautiful these drag women were.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what happens. Or if we think about Jenny Jones. I don't
I
know if you
remember Jenny
the show
Jones. I
about
love the Jenny Jones show. I loved it.
And the reason I go back to these stories is because people don't seem to understand that this isn't even a new issue. This is literally with really cisgender men who literally cannot accept their attraction to things that are beautiful in the world. And they are just bothered that they could even remotely think that something is beautiful if it isn't identified as ornately female or coming with a physical attributes that they're attracted to that are different than what they're told in society is allowable, right? So every time you hear a man bring up the trans situation, I want to remind people that 90% of all violent offenses in this country are committed by men. So every time you hear a man say that, it should plant a seed that you should water every single day, that they are the ones that will tell you, well, I know how men think. I know what's going through that person's mind because they're already thinking it. They are the threat. They are the issue. Their daughters aren't worried about it. Their daughters aren't afraid. They're afraid because they're already thinking it. So you want to change the community and you want to change the systemic violence in our country? Start with your sons. Start at home. Make sure you're having conversations about respect and honoring women and not objectifying them at every single turn. Make sure you're listening to the protection factor as what you're supposed to do as a protector and provider and not a predator. Because when you vote for a predator and a thief, you are a predator. You are a thief.
There you go.
And you're stealing the safety of our girls.
W, Jim.
So now back.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Back to the earlier conversation that ridiculous man Kennedy, was it Kenneth?
Oh,
No,
Kenneth.
Kenneth,
deranged,
right?
or what?
Kenneth?
The deranged one, yeah.
Yeah. Somebody called him Kennel, which I thought was perfect. So I want to make sure that we understand this in this country. Iran, in historic context, you can go look it up as much as you want, because you know how I always say, don't trust the talking heads on TikTok. Go find it for yourself.
Right.
So the fact that he tried to say that Iran was the one that was volatile or violent or harmful or the regime needed to be changed. I don't know about the rest of you. And if I can get a thumbs up or a 1 in the comment section, every single time I hear someone from the Trump administration, Pete Hegseth, Donald Trump himself, or any of the MAGA GOP talking, I don't hear them identifying Iran when they talk about change in the regime is necessary,
right,
or the violence that's happening. I hear it about the Trump administration. I hear it about the MAGA GOP, that every single time they talk about religious zealots or people that are harming based on religiosity or Sharia law even. It's funny how we're listening to them speak now, and all I hear is the harm that American men are causing against American women and children.
Yep.
And how they're booming people in boats without any evidence in international waters in Venezuela, in Iran,
War crimes.
in Ecuador.
Yeah.
And they're threatening Cuba. So war crimes, exactly. So I want to make sure that we all do this and make sure you Google how many times Israel has attacked other countries. It's thousands. Over 35,000 just since October 7th. 35,000 times they have boomed or harmed other countries.
Wow.
Not one country, not some countries, other countries. And if you literally do your research, you will find that the United States of America has literally entered into 10 actual war situations and booming 10 actual countries. And I could actually bring up the literal charts that'll tell you how many countries that we have boomed,
Wow.
and especially under the Trump administration. And that's not just, or engagements in combat.
Yeah.
So that's not just like over the hundreds of years we've been in office, but predominantly it's been in the last decade and maybe a little decade and a half.
Wow.
So I don't understand how anybody in their rightful mind could come up onto your stage with 1,000 people in here and try to say that it is Iran or any other country, Venezuela even, is a threat to the United States, when literally it is the United States that is the offender, the aggressor, and the predator.
Amen. Tell them, Jim. You've been exposed, Kenneth. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So if we want to actually be honest with ourselves,
Yeah.
when the president of the United States literally gets up on a stage and tells you there's no money for daycare, and you talk about loving our children, you're the one harming the children, that there's no viable way
to pay for daycare. And I want to remind every single one of you that regardless of who you are, your tax dollars are being sent to the US Treasury that is literally being stolen from by this administration. And if any one of you can believe for a hot second that $100 billion was spent to feed lobster, shrimp, and steak to the service members, I would challenge that.
Yeah.
I would challenge that most of that money was funneled into some other offshore account, and you guys are falling for it hook, line, and sinker as you're paying higher costs for fuel, higher costs for food. Your roads are falling apart. Your bridges are crumbling. You're watching planes fall from the sky. You're literally hearing that the aviation department is crumbling. The Department of Transportation is crumbling. That Duffy is literally known to have stolen over $100,000 of his money from his candidacy and funneled it to a brother-in-law of somebody. So I think it's better that you guys start questioning yourselves as to why you're still supporting an administration that is literally telling you to your face, not only are we stealing from you, we're now going to take from your children. We're going to take from your wives. We're going to take from your Department of Education, your healthcare system, your civil rights, your human rights, your educational rights. And we're going to tell you not to believe in science and math. And as we watch the COVID cases, the RSV cases, cancer cases rise, we're going to tell you that it's not anything to be worried about, because we're going to be sending members of Congress on your tax dollars to go get their heart surgeries at Walter Reed on your dime. We're going to send the president and his family to Walter Reed on your dime. We're going to give them all the access to monoclonal antibodies and any other thing that they need on your dime. And then we're going to get the news that Tiger Woods called his buddy Trump when he gets pulled over for a DUI. And that's the first call he made, was the sitting president of the United States. Or that Kid Rock made a call to the president of the United States and Pete Hegseth, because he didn't want anyone to get in trouble for flying the planes that cost $5,200 an hour to fly in front of his mini White House. How many of you even Googled, since I told you the other day that Kid Rock built a mini version of the White House as his new home? Have you Googled it yet?
No.
How sick and deplorable these people are? Yeah, Google it. Kid Rock's Southern White House. It's literally a miniature replica of the U.S. White House. That's what they were flying by in their drive. They tried to do it was in the flight zone for training. No, it's not. It's 50 miles outside of the training flight zone. So they took $5,200 per hour to fly an Apache helicopter, 2 of them. So that's over $10,400 an hour to fly those Apache helicopters in front of Kid Rock's house.
Did you know that Kid Rock's mansion in White's...
Hold on. Oh, sorry. Keep going.
No, go ahead. Go ahead if you want to play it.
Oh my gosh. You can... Let's see. Here we go. Let's go. Okay, yeah, here we go. Let's see if it works. There you go. You can see that?
But a larger-than-life replica of the White House? In this video, we'll take you inside this incredible home, revealing its unique features and luxurious amenities. Stick around to find out why this mansion has sparked so much controversy and curiosity. Welcome to the grand entrance of Kid Rock's mansion. This 2-story entryway sets a majestic tone with its high ceilings and massive chandelier.
Unbelievable.
The intricate moldings and polished hardwood floors add to the luxury. Top-of-the-line appliances, including a professional-grade stove.
Oh, what a
the room is
person.
uniquely decorated, reflecting the rock star's eclectic taste.
Disgusting. This guy's sick.
Wine cellar is a must-see.
And if you
Stocked
go
with
back,
top-quality
you'll
wines
see-
from around the world, it features custom shelving and a
What was that?
If you go back to the beginning where you were showing it, you'll see the pool where those helicopters were flying over.
Oh, right there.
Right there. So that's where they were hovering, 50 miles off of the training zone. You know, Viper, what's really interesting about you is you'll still sit here and justify it. I don't give 2 shits what Kid Rock builds. I care that our U.S. dollars were used to fly Apache helicopters while U.S. service members are unaliving in an unnecessary war.
Tell him,
That's
Jim.
what I care about. See, that's the thing is you guys never fight the right fight. I don't care what Kid Rock spends his money on, but what I do care about is how some of that money may have been funneled to him. Just like some of the money's been funneled to General Flynn. Just like some of the money's been all of his supporters. See, we're going to find it may not be like today or tomorrow, but we are going to find out that this administration not only stole, but they stole billions and billions of dollars from the American people. And what's worse, they ran us into a $40 trillion debt thus far for our children and their children to fix. And the fact that you don't understand that is the biggest problem of them all, that you are literally leaving it to our children and our grandchildren to fix. What you brag about is a billionaire. He's not a billionaire based on something he did. He's based on stealing our tax dollars.
Yeah.
Using the office of the President of the United States to enrich himself and his family, stealing from the U.S. Treasury, harming our nation and putting us into war. And that's why he's asking for more money, so they can funnel more money from the U.S. Treasury into their accounts. It has nothing to do with protecting the actual service members who are going to have boots on the ground or who are unaliving. So I'd like you to tell the 16 people so far that have been identified, their families, I want you to tell them that it's no big deal what Kid Rock's doing as you're funneling $10,400 to fly a helicopter in front of their house.
Thank you.
Or the fact that it cost $52 million to build those helicopters. $52 million of taxpayer money. So while you're paying $5 at the gas pump and $8 for a dozen eggs, and you can't buy anything for beef under $10 a pound because of what's happening.
Yeah.
You guys are really, really interesting.
Tell them.
I also think it's really important that we talk about regulations that are being rolled back, because I'm not hearing enough people talk about that. You guys talk about regulations and how we're too regulated. Every single regulation that was put into place was because there was a problem identified, whether it was with a toxin or a safety. So if you're ignoring the regulations and then you take those away, you're going to see more and more people start unaliving from the very things that we already had the education to protect American citizens from.
Facts. Facts.
There was one other point I wanted to make and I lost it because there's so much in my little pea brain. You know, as a woman, I don't know. I don't think very much unless I'm making a sandwich.
Well, no, it's fine. Tell him, Jim. Oh my gosh, you're right. But you're right. You got it though. You got it though. The main thing is, Donald Trump is not delivering on any of the things that he has promised he would be, and his supporters should know it. And you're ironing it out. You're pointing it out to him.
Yeah, there was one more point that one of your people came up and said, but it's pointless to even address MAGA at the if you are still MAGA or you are, the GOP. So I want to make sure everybody's reminded of this every time I go into a live or I host a live. This could not be happening without your MAGA GOP in Congress. I want to say that again. None of this could be happening without the MAGA GOP abdicating their co-equal branch of government. They are allowing this to happen to you, the American people. You want your country back? You want to protect your sons and daughters? Then you need to vote them out. And now's the time to get prepared. Register to vote. Get your documents in orders, ladies, because they're going to try and take away your voice and your vote. And every single American citizen needs to stand up for the right to vote for the next Congress to take this man down and this entire corrupt junk drawer that he calls a cabinet.
Yeah.
These are criminals. They are harming your nation, and they should never, ever be able to serve in an office ever again.
Thank you.
From the bottom office to the top, every MAGA GOP needs to be extinguished.
Yeah.
They need to be gone. Get ready. Let's get the vote going. Register, register, register.
All right.
Love you all.
Love you too. W's in the chat. W's in the chat for the beautiful Jim. No lies detected. You see that? Yeah. And so, she did an outstanding job totally destroying that nasty guest. What was his name? Pop Trash. I don't want to call him Popcorn, but listen up, Popcorn, and all of you. You can sit here and try to pretend like the biggest problem in the United States of America right now are the Democrats. But the reality is this. No matter what part of the world you go in right now, or even this country, everybody knows when you say we have the most incompetent person, you know, when you start the statement off like that, they know exactly who you're talking about, right? They know Donald Trump is the most dangerous person that the United States has ever had running the country. And they know that his supporters follow right. They're the close second, right? And so, no, Viper, we do have a solution. It's called midterms. All right, midterms coming soon. W Packer 59. Yeah. Hey, Viper. I know you're one of these people that worship Donald Trump. I just wish you could just go ahead and enlist. Why are you still here in the United States, Viper? Why are you Trump supporters still here? Why haven't you gotten over to Iran and fought for your daddy and gotten our oil prices back down to where they were before when Biden gave it to him? You think Biden could have done what Donald Trump is doing in Iran? W Zeus. Do you think Biden I mean, this is it's the most bizarre thing. I'm sitting here watching and I go, he's literally done worse than Joe Biden in every category humanly possible, and he's done it at record time. And while he's doing it, he's getting people like Viper to send him all of his hard-earned money. I don't know what you do for a living, Viper, but you keep doing it, I guess. I mean, if you don't love yourself, you don't need the money, but he's got you happy to spend money at the gas pump. You know, you go to the gas station, you pull up with your big pickup truck. It's not a brand new truck because, you know, you can't afford the brand new ones now. But you have your old little pickup truck. You go there, you got it jacked up and everything. You get to the gas pump, and under Biden, it was like, what, $2.69 a gallon. And you cried, I can't handle this $2.69 a gallon. I need something. And so you went out there, you voted for Trump. Now you go to the same gas station, same people, and he goes to the gas station and he pulls up in his truck, and his wife said, I just need you to go to the store and get me some, you know, things women need. He says, goes to the pump, puts it in there, enters his PIN number, declined. It was declined. It was declined because he didn't have enough money. He only had $75 in his account, and you know the hold is $150. You know, and he's like, it never happened to me before that when I go to the gas station, I put my PIN number that they take the whole thing out, and I'm like, yeah, your daddy did that to you, Viper, and you're proud of it. So you go back home and you don't even fill up your truck. But guess what? You get back home, your wife is mad at you. You didn't get what and then guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Viper gets he gets served divorce papers. He gets served those divorce papers. But I loved you, remember? No. You worship Donald Trump, you disgusting, sick individual. And so I hope that happens to every single Trump voter out there. Honestly, nothing brings me more joy than to see MAGA relationships failing, like I got to see over the weekend. Did you see that? I sat there and I said, how could you really think that there's love in a relationship where both of y'all went and voted for the same deranged lunatic? It'll never, ever happen. All right. And so as we continue, ladies and gentlemen, to go down this road with these Trump supporters, just know you're going to see things happening in this country. You're going to see these folks literally go into convulsions. Yeah, they're going to go into convulsions. They're going to yell and say a bunch of nasty things about the Democrats, but don't even worry about that, because come midterms, there's going to be hell to pay. And I'm going to make sure, W Zeus, all right, I'm going to make sure. Today has been another successful day of destroying the MAGA demons. None of them have really anything. There's nothing left for them to come up here and try to debate or even talk about. They can't. Has anyone seen DJ, for instance? Has anyone seen DJ lately? No, because if you check in with them, they know what we're going to do. All right, show us your 401ks. Show us your utility bills. Show us what you spent at the gas station. And they're going to sit there and do everything and talk about everything. Now they're bringing up the high-speed rail in California. Kabir, did you see this? He's in Georgia. He's not worried about the price of the ground beef. He's not worried about being drafted to possibly have to go put boots on the ground in Iran. He's not worried about securing the border. He's not worried about health care costs. He's not worried about his medication. He's worried about the high-speed rail in California. I have never seen this level of insanity in my life on full display for us all to see. But this is where they are right now because they're too embarrassed. They're too ashamed to admit that they have been conned by their daddy, Donald Trump. They're too embarrassed. Okay, I got to get up out of here. You were going to say something,
Yeah,
Jim?
that's it. Yes, thank you for reminding me. That's what I wanted to talk about because California, if anybody knows anything about California, who was the biggest supporter of the high-speed rail?
Who?
Gavin Newsom. It was Gavin Newsom's project. So it was a Democrat that really wanted to get that going. And it wasn't the Dems that voted it down. It was the Republicans that were preventing any access to funding for it. And it was his baby. That's what he wanted to achieve while he was governor. He wanted to get the high-speed rail going. And the fact that anyone from Georgia would try to tell you and I, people who actually pay the taxes in California and literally support red states, I want to make sure you understand you're welcome from California.
Thank you.
Because we are a giver state and you're a taker state. So is Texas. Texas takes over $73 billion extra dollars a year. And it's we in California who we willingly pay to support other states to ensure that the federal government is run properly. So you're dismissed. And I wanted to say that. Thank you for bringing that up.
You're welcome.
Love you. Bye.
Thank you. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. When you got the truth like this, ladies and gentlemen, what can you say? All right, W. Jim, all right? Oh, I got to check in with my brother, Nutty. Oh, you made it.
Hey, what's going on, sir?
Hey, what's going on? You made it. I didn't know you were going to make it today, but nice seeing you.
Well, I was. No, I've been listening to the whole show.
Okay. Okay, nice.
But I wanted to talk about government since this is what we do. We talk about government, and I won't belabor the time. But as a lot of you know already, I'm yet again a candidate for office, and so local government is really what you all need to be focused on. Your local government. Because your local government, that's going to affect you on a daily basis. That has the most effect on you right now. So as we know, the World Cup is coming to the United States. Why they didn't pull out, I would say I don't know, but we all know it's all about the almighty dollar.
Right.
They are FIFA World Cup. They are just as corrupt as the regime we have sitting in the Oval Office. So of course they weren't going to pull out. So the World Cup is coming here to Kansas City. And here we're seeing, and all over the country where there are going to be activities for the World Cup, we're seeing these cities, these counties, these municipalities gearing up to welcome the world. Every single one of you should have a problem with that. Here's why I say that. Sitting right across the street from Arrowhead Stadium, which is the home of the Kansas City Chiefs, where the World Cup will take place, sitting right across is an abandoned 12-story hotel. Now, our county officials, they didn't care about the blight that everyday people who live here has to drive next to or live next to. The reason it's getting taken care of now is because the eyes of the world is going to be on Kansas City. That should piss you off. To get problems taken care of because the eyes of the world are going to be on the problem and not the people who are actually paying, that's the problem. Why aren't you all angry about this? Why aren't you angry about the things that your local government is doing or not doing? Yeah. In the name of, the eyes of the world, or we're having this tournament come here, so we got to get this fixed. I know the Olympics is going to be in Los Angeles in a few years. And I'm not, saying anything against, cleaning up your stuff to welcome the world. Yeah. But if it's good enough to clean up for the world, should it not be good enough to clean up for the people who live there?
Tell them, Nutty. And we should make MAGA clean it up.
Because after all, the people who live there Aren't they the people that's paying for it anyway?
Yeah.
So this is why I just wanted to encourage y'all.
Thank you.
You know, I know there are a lot of municipal elections happening tomorrow, April 7th.
Yeah.
If you have a municipal election happening in your town, familiarize yourself with the candidates today. Even if you didn't plan on voting, get your nasty behind out and vote.
Thank you.
Because it is imperative, because your local government, it literally touches your life way quicker than your state, than your federal. It's local. That's touching your life on a daily. So get out and vote in your municipal elections, April 7th. Vote in these primaries. Vote in the general. Don't miss an opportunity to vote.
You hear that?
And hold your government accountable. That's it. That's all I need to say, Zeus. Have a great day, bro.
All right, W Nutty. No lies detected. Who is that demon out there? Who is his name? Dan. What is his name? Dan the Great. Where is he at? Where's that demon? Dan. Whoever he is. Dano speaks 85. Yeah. Dano, where'd you go? I was going to actually check in with you to see if you had a little bit of time. I just need 2 minutes, Dano. Come on up here. It doesn't take long to destroy you. Come on up here, Dano. I didn't think so. All right, so that's another Dan the Graper. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, we had a nice casual Monday morning where we got some of the truth out here and we addressed a lot of the things that Donald Trump is doing. Obviously, he's doing everything he can to try to ruin the United States of America. We're not going to allow him. I want to give all of you in the audience a huge round of applause. No lies detected. All right. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you to all the subscribers, gifters, moderators, and panelists, because without you, this show wouldn't be what it is. Exciting, entertaining, and very, very engaging. But on a serious note, yes, vote blue, everyone, and make sure you are registered to vote, all right? On a serious note, we're going to give one last round of booze and shame, and you know exactly who this goes out to. This goes out to all of the Zeus haters out there, and I saw we had some of them in the audience. I mean, a couple of them got up here, but all they did was just get up here and deny, lie. They will not engage. They will not have a serious conversation because they see what's happening in the United States of America, and they know they are wrong. And they can never point out anything Vice President Kamala Harris offered us that would have been as bad as what we're dealing with, right? Ladies and gentlemen, join me in sending these demons one last time straight to hell. W Aviator. Yeah.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, take care, stay safe. We are out of here. Have a great rest of your morning.
What about body? Yeah. What about body? Oh, what about body?
Have a great rest of your morning.
Read the votes dead or night. Yeah, that ain't right.
What about Biden? You know the. Remember they cried about this? Miss Renee, thank you. It's one of the best questions of the year. What about Biden? W Cindy. 13. Kamala was right. Sing it.
What about Biden? Yeah.
Sing it.
Yeah. What about Biden? What about Biden?
Thank you, everyone. I appreciate it. Here goes.
Yeah. Up in the White House, call him Sleepy Joe. Cognitive decline. Everybody knows stumbling words can't finish a sentence. Pumping on strings, who pulling the leverage? Hunter's laptop, bullets for bills. Trying to cash flow, many concealed. Family getting pain, influence pedal while we out here struggling, pockets unsettled. Weaponized OJ, FBI raids. Mar-a-Lago store, 100 gets praised. January 6, locking up brands, but Joe's pacified docs in his garage, man.
Remember Joe's still classified.
Energy weak, depending on foes, gas $4 a week. Crime in the cities, soft on the streets, defund the police. Chaos for beat.
Hey,
election night.
Brad.
Read the votes dead or night. Yeah, that ain't right.
I did, but you were gone, Poet Tiffany.
Millions crossing, drugs pouring. Where we begin? What about Biden? Gas prices sky, inflation wild. Economy dying, can't feed your child.
JDK, stay here.
What about Biden? Afghanistan, mess left from behind. 13 soldiers gone. Joe acting blind.
Joe acting blind.
What about that? What about
It's okay.
Yeah.
Thank you,
What
Jenica.
about Biden?
Remember what Biden did? Yeah. Him and Kamala Harris. They ran so many laps. They ran so many laps around Trump. What about him? He won from the basement. Can you believe that? Joe Biden beat Donald Trump right out of the basement. Wow. It's sad, ladies and gentlemen. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're out of here. I'll see you all tomorrow. Same Zeus time, same Zeus channel.